Good evening, welcome to a scene for the Living World of Darkness, Mage venue. Due to an assorted amount of clusterfuckery, there has been some issues that have popped up of late, and this is the first time Sylva's been willing to leave the chantry for a little bit here. So she's actually going to head back to her apartment where she's invited a variety of people who need to be there, all of the mages, including the ones that don't particularly like each other, but it doesn't matter right now because we gotta deal with some stuff. So she is actually in her apartment. I mean, if anybody wants to have come with her from the chantry, that's also fine.
Jack will have come with her.
Okay, that's fine. So basically, it's like a pretty high floor kind of apartment. It's pretty nice. It has one regular bedroom, one like very small second bedroom, and overall the whole thing is nice. It's a nice place. It has like security and stuff like that downstairs. But yeah, she kind of walks in and drops her stuff and looks around because she's rather curious if she can see Nils, but she cannot actually see Nils at the moment. So she's just going to walk over to the fridge, pull out a bottle of wine, and kind of look at Jack. Do you want some?
Please, yeah. It's different being in your apartment now.
You haven't been in my apartment yet. You didn't want to come into my apartment.
No. Yeah. Just an observation.
What makes it so different, Jack?
It's better.
Well, and she'll kind of pour the, 2 glasses of wine from it, leave the bottle out for anyone else who might want some when they come in, and hand him a glass, and she'll just be like, I'll drink to that. And
he'll smile.
And yeah, there's regular furniture and stuff around. It's all comfy but nice. It's definitely not like something she picked up at a thrift shop. She's just going to kind of wander over to find something. She'll actually sit down on the couch. And just kind of, yeah. I guess we're just sitting there until someone else shows up, or maybe we can chat forever, probably, but guessing y'all might want to show up too.
There will be a knock on the door, and a voice comes out. It's me. It's Kenji.
She'll walk over and get the door. Come in.
He looks somewhat dumbly around the place as he walks in and goes, looks like a furniture store.
My mom helped me pick this furniture out. Is that supposed to be an insult?
That's not what I meant. This place looks very clean, very orderly. Different than what I'm used to.
The only thing that really doesn't seem to be pretty decent would be there's a crucifix on one wall, above the couch. But that's the only thing that really probably shows much personality. I mean, there's stuff around, but it's not yeah. She'll just be like, I like my place neat. I don't really like messes everywhere.
I'm not saying you need to be messy, but as he kind of looks at the furniture, looks at the other parts of the place, like this stuff all looks new. I'll get my stuff from thrift stores and junkyards.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it still works, right?
Yeah. People like having, quote unquote, as nice things. So
she shrugs. It's just stuff. Have a seat. Do you want some wine? Or have water or tea in there?
I'll have some water, please. Thank you.
There's a knock on the door.
Yeah, she'll grab a bottle of water on the way over to the door to open the door.
Hello.
Hey, come in.
He comes in and then waves at everyone and sits down.
It's nice for that noise to be gone. By the way, I should mention there's a really nice view of like the Manhattan skyline from her apartment. That's the reason she picked this place.
How much money you paid for this place?
Enough.
I was gonna say a lot, but sure, enough works.
I kind of work in. I mean, this is kind of my job. When I see a good deal, I didn't have any reason not to snap it up.
No, I think you're pointing out that you even have the opportunity to buy a place like this or rent.
Nope, this is mine.
Oh,
it's not very big, but it's a great location.
When Kenji gets the glass of water, he looks at it for a moment. And he says, "Thank you." And he looks at it for a moment and begins kind of tapping at the glass. And a moment later, the liquid changes into something that looks like cola. It's like, so I can do that. And he starts writing down some things in a notepad.
Do you roll Arate?
I can.
Yeah, if you're going to cast an effect.
It is more for RP reasons, but magic is still magic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, believe me, I've had to roll for some things that were just really for flavor, too. Eamon, did you want something to drink? You don't drink alcohol, if I recall correctly, but if you change your mind, there's another bottle of wine.
Yes.
And I have some water and tea and stuff around if you want it.
No, I'm quite fine.
Okay. There's just one more coming.
Claudia?
Oh, Lena.
Well, Claudia's busy, I believe. Syl was going to kind of give Jack a glance.
Jack has been told in advance that this is happening.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
not asked,
that's why she's like looking at him.
Asked, told.
She was affected by this, therefore she needs to be here for this.
Absolutely. Jack has begrudgingly agreed.
And yeah, she just kind of gives him this look like, yeah. And then she'll head over to the door. Come on in.
Oh. Yeah, Lena is wearing a headset. And like even with the headset you can kind of hear like the bass just like filling up the room with sound. And she looks like she didn't have any sleep at all last night.
She'll take one look at Lena and be like, yeah, she'll just kind of look at her and be like, I take it you need something more like coffee rather than wine, right?
I don't care. Doesn't matter. What's up?
Not much. You were also warned, by the way, from Syl that Jack is going to be here.
Okay, thank you for notifying.
Yes, so, she's not going to surprise anybody, and she's pretty much expecting you both to be polite.
Yeah, Lena will turn off the sound from the headset and it carefully takes it off. Takes like a moment. You can visibly see her listening, and then she'll walk in Everyone? Jack? Hi.
Jack gives a completely, like, forced, fixed smile. Lena.
I mean, he's even smiling. Lena's not bothering to smile. She's gonna sit down.
It's in no way remotely friendly. The nicest word you could give it is polite.
Steve, and like Lena says Jack and Jack says Lena. Eamon says Ken.
Ken kind of waves, then looks between Jack and Lena and sighs a little bit. Continue to drink his freshly made Coke.
Just it goes without saying that Jack and Lena are sitting in probably the farthest away from each other places.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, Sylv will actually go, and since she really doesn't want something that will make Lena fall asleep, which is what alcohol can easily do. So she'll just get her a water since she didn't say specifically she wanted coffee. And she knows that you drank water the other day, so.
Yeah.
As Kiji is going through his Coke, that's halfway through, he kind of says something a little bit under his breath, like, should have made this cherry Coke. Yeah.
Well, since you made your own drink, I kind of feel like that is your fault.
Yeah, well, that more puts things in perspective. As he kind of moves his glass around, I could make this technically any liquid I want as long as it's a liquid. This thing could be sulfuric acid for all I care, but that puts in perspective what I can do. That's the first time I ever manipulated a piece of material to change its color yesterday. I was just kind of changed what it was.
Be careful with acids.
Yeah. Also, if you change a liquid, if you did that just in front of everyone, that's a vulgar thing. So you take paradox as well.
Yeah, we don't count as witnesses, but we do make it vulgar.
It's the effect itself is vulgar. Like it's that this isn't in the chantry, so it's not.
Right.
So it's still vulgar magic.
Yeah, then I will make sure to write that on my sheet. Yesterday, put some things in perspective for me. So I still need a lot of practice. And that tree, I don't think we should be that friendly to it.
No, because it's been corrupted.
We need to uncorrupt it.
Exactly.
You really think that's going to be enough? I mean, do you think we even can?
Whether we can is a separate question. We know the spiritual computer at the heart of it is what's corrupted it. Our ability to remove the computer is a separate question.
There's another thing that I actually want to point out. That the tree used to be a spirit, and it become something together. Then it got corrupted, according to the spirits of Stag.
No, it got corrupted. That's what changed it. That's what Stag said.
Okay.
The void thing, whatever that was.
The void thing that changed it was what corrupted it.
I think I actually hope that once its corruption is gone, it just doesn't remain as this all-knowing and very someone very eager to do something that is very eager to do their experiments.
The spiritual computer is what is driving it to learn. It seems to make sense that the computer wants to gather information. We remove the computer, that side of it.
And we have to see what remains.
Why describe this thing as a spiritual computer? I don't understand.
Because that is exactly what it is.
I'm missing some context here.
It fell out of the
Computers
sky.
apparently have spirits.
Yep, it's a spiritually awakened computer that fell out of the sky and embedded itself in the tree, corrupting the spirit within. That is what has changed it into what it is now.
But if this tree was as old and powerful as it should be, how did it even get shifted by just the typical man-made object that's more aware?
It's not just a typical computer. It's a spiritually awakened computer, as I said.
Does really giving that thing a sense of consciousness make it that powerful?
It was already conscious. It was already a wishing tree.
No, I'm referring to the
It was a
computer.
powerful spirit. It was a powerful spirit which got become even more powerful by becoming one with another powerful spirit.
Exactly.
And it got corrupted by becoming it could become extra powerful by becoming one with that corrupted spirit. Spirits are can be weird. But
The rabbit.
yesterday
told
we
us.
just saw a dwarf. Yesterday we just saw a dwarf take beard of another dwarf by beating the other one senseless. It was very strange. I don't
Jack
even
is
know what
going
the
to
fuck
blink
those
because
things
this
were.
is. I'm assuming Sylv's told him about the voice, but let's just for the sake of effect. I'm sorry, you're going to have to catch me up a little bit. A dwarf.
Like, I don't know. Basically, yesterday we went to check the library. I was outside. There was this dwarf guy. I don't know what the fuck this dwarf guy is. And then like another
He
dwarf
called
showed up.
himself
They
a,
started
a house
fighting.
nessa. He calls himself a house nessa, whatever that is.
Dwarf is easier to say, so I'm just gonna call it dwarf and house that's a
His name is Nils.
strange.
How about that? Call him Nils. That's his name.
Dwarf. Then another person, weird dwarf, showed up, and they start beating each other, senseless. It was very fucked up. Like
That one was a farm
they
nessa.
Okay, well, that's not an argument about semantics.
No,
What
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing. I'm just adding information.
So there were two different kinds of dwarves fighting.
And evidently, there was also one living in
Yeah.
the church down the street. A Catholic church nearby has one too. It's a church nessa.
I have never ever heard of church Nessa, or a Nessa for that matter.
Same.
I don't even know what's
But the
Jack's going
displaced
to
one.
actually be quickly Google it on his phone.
Yeah, I'm also gonna do the same.
Some Scandinavian gnome thing.
do they really matter? We got bigger things to fry than worrying about the little folk.
Well, it does matter to a point because I have one living in my house now.
Yeah.
Told you.
Okay.
Told me what?
I told you that this is gonna become a problem. Like you're. Never mind.
How is it a problem? How is it a problem that I have a housekeeper?
Okay. Main thing is this tree is willing to sacrifice the clones so we can't find them. This is gonna make things more difficult.
I don't know if you heard about that, Jack, but that was also kind of fucked up.
I mean, I presume that's the case. The clones are merely an extension of the tree's consciousness. This we already know. They don't have any free will.
No, I don't know whether they have any free will or not, but I'm pretty sure he could easily put them on strings and do what he wants with them.
Completely. They are clones created by the tree. See no reason to think of them as anything other than just nodes of a greater network.
Mass murder is
Not something that I had particularly planned on doing.
It was disgusting. It was really gross. That's why I got out of there and stopped watching it.
Not only that, whoever
was
he cloned last, or whoever the clones were, died in the middle of the street. He let himself get hit by a car. So somebody may be confused why they're in an obituary when they're perfectly fine.
Or unless that's one of the dead ones.
That's true.
We know that the
Already.
masked hunters are assassinating them. That was the whole thing we saw when we went into the caves and we saw the ledgers. A R. Assassinated. Replaced.
They're not going
They-
to find the bodies of the other one, though, as I understand it. Lena saw that the tree basically ate them, or they were eaten. So they're
Eaten
not going to find all those.
by what?
The tree. Waste now.
Damn.
So, yeah, Soph will look at Lena and be like, "Can you describe a little better what you saw?"
They were in some sort of underground place, and the roots of the tree came and opened up, and there was a big furnace inside the tree, and it ate them.
Wow. Okay.
Well, and that was the point we start hearing voices.
I swear I had nothing to do with that.
No way.
No, you didn't. Of course, I don't know who does exactly, but I do know what their point is.
What's the point? Who's the stabber?
I don't even know what the
Me.
concept of stabber is. Like backstabber, just a regular stabber? And why would you say that?
I'm the stabber.
If Sylv, if you're worried about that, then why didn't I?
It's not about. You weren't there.
Or did you stab something else?
No. There's only been
What did you?
one stabbing.
What did you stab? You never told me that you stabbed something.
Jack, do you mind telling the story?
The vampire.
Okay. So this confirms again they're real, and two, do they matter?
Given the fact that it went into a berserker rage, sprouted claws, and started ripping out my insides,
There was
I can-
poison.
not just normal poison as well.
Lena
Long
gets up
claws, about 2 inches
and
long.
walks out.
Lena, please come back.
No.
This is so that you know what happened. You knew that something was going to happen.
Anybody gonna explain what's wrong now?
Can you just
I
stay
will.
through this conversation, please, Lena? Just through this conversation. And then you can drop me all you like.
Lena looks really angry and upset, but she'll turn around and just kind of flop down in the chair,
Thank you.
crosses her arms.
I will try to tell this to you, Ken, in a most neutral way possible. Me, Sylv, and Lena met with a creature who's seemed to have a it was a vampire. It was not dying, like it was something that was not supposed to be there when I checked with magic.
It was
Um,
some sort of zombie pyre.
Yeah, so there was and then I saw that guy with Lena, and they went somewhere, but it's we basically told him that it's a vampire, and because it's an abomination and it's actually quite close, it's something that saw our faces and all that jazz, and it's a vampire. It was insisted that we need to end this creature's life, which Jack and Sylph did. As vampires, according to traditions, are abominations.
Well, I don't know if they're rather. I'm pretty sure in some cases they are an abomination. They're breaking the life cycle. But if it's anything like in storybooks and movies, most of them are still have the personality of who they were beforehand. That's got to complicate things, at least for me.
Well, we will not invite you when we go hunt vampires. It's quite all right. Uh, Eamon tries to keep it like friendly, but he doesn't realize he fails. But I make him fail.
Yeah, completely.
So he says, "It is. They are quite dangerous. And as Jack said, it went into a berserker frenzy, which is not cool.
No, it's. I get it. Nobody wants to die here.
Yeah, let's immediately kill everyone who gets into a berserker frenzy.
I didn't know we had any obligation to the vampires. You got something to say, Lena? Or do you have obligation to every person that's a part of the underbelly?
Okay, listen, let's not pick on each other at this point.
Now, one thing that we should tell you, Ken, is that
No, by all means.
there's 2 members of our chantry who sees the vampires as abominations. Actually, no, 4 members of the chantry who sees the vampires as abominations and excessively dangerous. So it's the majority of the chantry, which is me, Jack, Sylvan, Claudia, believes that the vampires shouldn't exist. Now we're
But that
not,
doesn't mean we're going to go on a vampire hunt and try to just kill everything, because that's really impractical.
but at the same time, we will do what's necessary to protect the chantry.
The reason I finally agreed that it was. We all know Jack was definitely more into this than I was. But the reason I did it is because Jack was right on at least one point. That particular vampire knew us. He could have used some stuff. He could have used something against us. And that's a risk we can't take.
I get
That
it.
was the trouble. That was the
I did
problem.
not enjoy it. It was horrifying and awful.
I'm not saying that you should. We have to protect ourselves, as Kendrick begins kind of rubbing at his head. But, I don't know. As he looks over to Lena, why do you feel bad that that thing died?
Eamon knows what's coming. He kind of looks down.
I have no comments to this.
Okay, you're the most disorganized people I've ever met. More worried about your feelings than our own fucking safety and proper communication. This is ridiculous.
If you have a problem with how we operate here, Ken, we're not keeping you here.
Yeah, I kind of don't understand why you made that comment, to be honest.
Because this is unnecessary clicky. If we're supposed to be all in the same boat, why do I feel like we're all out against each other to one point or another?
Absolutely not. I'm not against any of you. I think we are all in this together, but we just all have different opinions and different feelings on different subjects.
Lena
And
and
that's
I,
going to happen.
Lena and I have this disagreement, a quite fervent one. However, the fact that we are both in this room and having this conversation, I think shows a certain recognition that at least we understand that there are greater threats that exist anyway. Would you feel that is fair, Lena?
Yeah.
We are in the same boat. We understand we're in the same boat. Are me and Lena going to go and share a drink after this? No.
I mean, Ken, this is not Avengers, like those things are, I think, in comics where everyone is like getting along. We all have different views on different things, and we argue, but in the end, we come together to solve the problems. I don't think there was ever blows.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do want to say that it was never my intention to hurt you, but I had to do what I felt was right.
I'm just frustrated with this whole shit. My life was fine nearly a month ago. Just did my job, did some little parlor tricks in my backyard. Met my parents every weekend to make sure they're okay. So I talked to a few cousins, and the cycle went on over and over again.
With respect, Ken, we all have those stories.
Yeah. It's not just about me, but I want to be a bit more well equipped than I am, and I keep feeling more and more that I'm losing options.
What options do you need? Maybe we can help you find them.
That's the problem. I don't even know where to start looking.
What about traditions?
Mm-hmm.
We know how to get in touch with them.
Don't know much about them. Just the little stuff
But,
you
I mean,
said.
you're looking for something. Just saying you're looking for something, right?
Yeah.
So does that seem to be a legit place to start? Talking to people who know more than you?
That is a good idea. I'm going to need some focus.
Then we'll see what we can do. There's no reason why you shouldn't try to figure out what path you need to lead now.
But a certain amount of that decision, Ken, building on what Sylv said, others can offer you guidance to a degree, but some of the answers will only come from you, regardless of anything else. When you have some of those answers, others can teach you. Finding those answers can be difficult and it can take a very long time.
You seem like you want to say something, Lena.
No,
I wish you would.
no, you really wish I wouldn't.
Don't tell me what I want. I'm a big girl. I knew you weren't going to like it. I'd rather you actually said what you were thinking.
It would be nice, so at least for me, I'm not guessing what I should or shouldn't be doing.
I take responsibility for everything I've done, right or wrong.
If I'm going to say what I want to say, you all are going to be like, you're impolite, you're rude, go away, we don't want you anymore. So I'm doing my best here to keep my calm, to keep quiet. I've not slept all night because of that fucking voice droning in my head, and I just want to get along and not sharing fucking sob stories.
Okay, I'm not sure what sob stories you mean, but I'm sorry that you're so tired. And I'm sorry that you had a horrible night. I didn't know it was going to continue like it did. Or I would have invited you to the chantry at least for the evening.
Lena, why you were here?
Because I invited her.
No, like what we should do right now. Like you said, you're trying to understand Ken and what he says here, and he like shared something about. What do you want to talk about?
I thought we were coming here for a plan. If the plan is to help Ken, that's fine, but obviously you don't need me in that. Because I can't help him very much.
Well, we can introduce you to them as well. If you want to speak with some of the traditional people, like we know where they are.
More to the point, we're also here to discuss how we're going to deal with the problem of the tree in the short
The
term.
tree, and I wanted you guys to understand what happened yesterday. I didn't actually know what was going on there. But it's clear that what I did and what Jack did wasn't going to remain a secret, and it wasn't fair to you guys to keep it a secret, considering that you were taking the repercussions of it. So I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for what happened, though I had no part of it. Because I wouldn't have made you go through a whole night of that if I had known that that was going to happen.
You said this started when it came near the tree. Is that right?
I know we were out in the alley at that point.
Therefore, I might suggest there's two likely possibilities, or two realistic probabilities. One is that this was being done by the tree, that had some way of finding that out in and of itself, which is its own form of terrifying. The other is some complete coincidence that some other random supernatural entity found out about it in such a way that it only targeted you or could only access you there, but somehow felt fitting to blanket everyone else like that for some insane reason. Do you have any idea which of those two it might be?
I think there might be a third option.
Oh? Jack doesn't sound sarcastic when he says that. He's looking genuinely interested at Lena.
I mean,
So does Sylve, actually.
if things like ghosts and such are a thing, it could be like, a ghost or Bo's ghost, or it could be that perhaps he set up some, I don't know, defenses or, aftermath revenge kind of thing.
No, that's I
I
suppose,
make
yeah.
it 4 options.
Yeah, absolutely, I suppose.
But if so, then he missed Jack.
Maybe, yeah, if it was a ghost, I imagine I'm not discounting your theory, Lena, and I think it's distinctly possible. I imagine it wouldn't have just gone after Sylve. And definitely I don't see why it would go after you and Eamon and Ken. Some kind of other supernatural, something else that it could do. Some insurance.
One problem, though.
Yeah?
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No. Please.
Sylph cast a mind shield on myself. I presume she had one up as well. That means that it was not mind affecting. Or at least harder.
Yeah.
But a spirit
Yes.
or a ghost is not necessarily mind affecting, right? That's spirit affecting or
That's true.
something like that.
It could have been an arrangement with the one who struck the blow, the final blow.
It seems to be over now.
Maybe it was just a short 24 hours of guilt. Or judgment or whatever. I don't know.
The
But in terms of the other matter, the tree, I've spoken to Sylph about it before, but I have suggestions for how to deal with the tree if everyone's willing to listen. In fact, with Claudia as well. There are allies, spirit allies in the park. The rabbits are fighting a guerrilla war against the squirrels. They are adorable and they have tiny hats.
I'm still going to get a hat that goes with it when I see them next.
Spoken to them. They're the ones who have given us all the intel on the tree. Or a lot of the intel on the tree itself and its location in the park. Confirm that the tree is surrounded by a load of spirit on the other side, by a load of spiritual drones, eyes, watching spirits. They presume watching on the other side as well. And as soon as we make a move against the tree, an alarm will be triggered. In addition, gardeners and the various different forces of the triumvirate attend the tree regularly, gathering its nuts, bringing offerings to be cloned, all sorts of reasons. As soon as we're seen by the drones, for want of a better term to call them, an alarm will be triggered as well, and the reinforcements of the triumvirate will be coming. The tree, whilst not one of them, is, I think, a powerful weapon in their arsenal. A powerful minion they control, however we want to think of it. We're going to have a very limited amount of time to actually hit the tree itself. Now, there's 3 potential routes we could take with the tree that we've discussed before. One is to rip out the computer. When we get to the tree, to try and find the computer that has corrupted it and rip it out or destroy it or something else. The other is to try and bargain with the tree, see if we can somehow twist it to our side. I'd argue, however, that this is extremely high risk and may fail and may be double crossed by the tree. In addition, it may not be able to help us anyway.
It's
But
not
the third
possible, I
option
tried.
is to destroy the tree.
Tree's
Sorry?
not making deals the last time I talked to it.
Okay. So then our options are to destroy it. I would argue that if we can try and purify it first, and if not, we then destroy it.
So
The
what
rabbits-
you're saying is we need a spiritual hacker.
For want of a better term, I've always found that percussive maintenance works on computers. At
I would
least
rather purify the tree as well if we can.
my overall idea, the void. It's the spiritual force of corruption that inverts spirits and turns them into opposites of what they were. I hate to say it, but we might have to work a little bit with the Peacebreaker. Or at least what it serves, to corrupt the void spirits, or invert them into the opposite of what they were, so they can hide us. Together, the rabbits in the park can, if we aid them with various different allies. I've got my spirits. With respect, Lena, if you can speak to the rats, or
Not on my own.
for this, I'll help you. Is that fair? It's up to you. Offer stands.
I suppose.
Offer stands.
Offer taken.
The rabbits and their allies mount a diversionary attack in the Umbra. We will be in the normal world, and whilst the tree and what forces defending it are distracted, that's when we go for the tree itself. Does this sound reasonable to everybody?
Question. What
Yep.
about those gamers? How do they fit in? And will they not form, like, at that point, conveniently, an extra army?
So my understanding of what the gamers are is they are not directly connected to the triumvirate, but the sage instead, who appears to not control the triumvirate, but be a close ally. The sage has developed the gamers for his own ends, unconnected to the triumvirate itself. What the gamers are supposed to do, so the sage is trying to impose a certain will upon the spirits and the spirit world. It's trying to control it and dominate it. You spend time in the spirit world at the moment and it feels stifling. The spirits are terrified of him. The gamers are his kill squads, killing powerful spirits who oppose his will. They may be diverted, but from every single piece of intelligence that we've got so far, it looks like relationships between the triumvirate and the sage are tense, for want of a better term. I don't think they will be definitely guarding the tree. However, there is a possibility that they might be, and that's part of why we need a diversion, and we need to be as quick as possible.
Well, if there's a way we can hack into that system somehow. I say hack, that's obviously not hacking or something, but if we could hand out a fake quest, we could at least lure them away to the opposite end of the city or something like that.
If there's a way to do that, that would be fantastic.
We still have that gamer, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need to get into the system.
Mhm.
I don't know how to do that, honestly. I just thought,
This is something worth looking into. Yeah.
This it sounds confusing.
What do you mean?
I mean, normally if you're going to hack, not that I've ever done it, but like if you're going to, it's something you're doing physically. It's something that's done because you have a skill. It's something, you picture a lot of nerd guys just typing away on a computer, right?
Yeah.
That's not how that would work. This would have to be sort of a spiritual hacking, and would that actually involve like needing to be in a specific location?
I think we'd need to know more about the game itself and how the central control of it works.
Which is why we need to track that back to wherever that is and try to get rid of that, so that maybe then the gamers won't be an issue.
If we can, that would be really great.
What kind of firepower we need to deal with the tree?
I have no idea. As much as we can bring.
The tree it's a spirit. Fighting with spirits is dangerous, especially powerful
Not
as one
just
is
a
true.
spirit. There's also an actual giant, weird, magical tree. Will not be in the spirit world.
Oh yeah, you're right. We're gonna attack it from.
actually,
Go ahead, Lena.
we don't
We're
need
up for
fire.
Hmm?
Eamon, you can do fireballs. Can you do electricity?
Yes.
Because it's not the tree we want to hit, it's the computer. So if we hit it with a surge of electricity, computer will at least temporarily, hopefully, shut down, right?
That's what I would think. That's actually a
Yeah.
really good idea.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Doable.
I'll speak to the storm as well, see what I can do to help.
I was going to say, you'd think that lightning might be something in your area, Jack.
Yeah. No, yeah. That hopefully could further, at least, even if it doesn't completely stop it, at least knock the computer out to give us a bigger window. And then, yeah, whether we zap the computer with a million lightning bolts, smash it to bits, or physically rip it out, do whatever we need to do.
I think after causing this problem for the triumvirate, you're going to be
On their
in
shit
their
list,
deal with list.
I imagine we will as well. I have 2 other sites that we can hit, both controlled by the minions of despair. They're creating the grey monsters. An alternative plan is to deal with one of these first. Just going to put it out there, but I think the tree is a bigger threat. There's 2. One is a truck, and the other, I can't remember what it is, but Carl told me, so Jack knows what it is. Things like an abandoned church or something.
If we hit one of them and try to keep a lot of time between another hit, it's going to make them raise their defenses.
Actually, there's the church, Nessa. Why? Maybe I can try to speak to it.
Yeah.
See if we know, see if we can find more information, a location, or maybe he's got some feelers in other churches.
Yeah. As I say, on an OOC level, I'm not 100% sure it's a church.
Good.
That's something I need to double check with Carl.
I got you.
But yeah. But this truck
We
and
got 6 people.
Mhm.
Now you go on, Jack. Sorry.
trying to locate these minions in despair things. Oh no, it was a drive-through, I think. It was like an old drive-through. But anyway, we can locate this truck and this place that they're converting people into those grey demon monsters by feeding them, by making a demon vomit into their mouths. I have no suggestion other than we burn it to the ground.
I say while you guys attack the tree, another group should attack to the other place.
I understand where you're coming from, but I don't want to split our forces. There's 6 of us.
Yeah, like it is bit dangerous, but we're going to make the triumvirate know about us the second we make this attack, and they're going to put a lot of, like they're not just gonna, they're gonna defend it more. That's my.
I understand where you're coming from, Eamon, but how do we split our forces?
You, Sylv, and Ken, me, Lena, and Claudia. Lena
Jack.
is good at sneaking. Claudia is just good at throwing shit around and doing a bunch of other things. Sylvana is just one day away from becoming the world's best thrower.
Jack
About you.
is looking deeply concerned about this and is looking at everyone else. Like, I think splitting our forces is too high a risk. I'd rather
I am
engage in
just
series
In all
of
making
direct
honesty,
attacks.
I think it's not a good idea.
See, Eamon, you made Jack and Lena agree.
That's quite
Eamon just-
something.
Eamon like just raises his hands and he says, "I am just pointing options to the table. I don't mind just
I
going."
mean, if we knew, the thing is, I think if we knew exactly what we're doing, and if we knew exactly that what we are doing is also going to work, but I guess we also need all of each other to not only raise our own power level to even come close to the level of like what we're facing, but we also need our versatility.
Yeah.
God, I
Yeah.
can't English anymore. Yeah, that.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Because what one of us is weak and someone else might be good at. Kind of like the cardboard horse. Wasn't it a cardboard horse? The cardboard horse. I mean, you were the best at killing that thing.
Jack only looks a little bit offended.
I think that I understand. It's just that the element of surprise is a good thing to have.
I agree. They know that we know about their main headquarters. That'll be more defended. I think this is the one thing that I think is good. The next thing we need to hit after the tree, because the tree knocks a huge amount of their power away from them. The next thing to hit is the minions of despair. That's where they're getting their soldiers from, or the monsters.
So, if we go based off of that, then what it sounds like is that the plan would be, I suppose, to try to track down that game and the source of the game that's bringing all the ridiculous people into into the spirit world. First, that because then we can take away that part of the problem that might defend the tree. Then we deal with the tree, and then the other place. That's what I'm hearing. Am I right?
Ultimately, the game is something to explore more than something concrete, because we don't know what we can do. How about you and Lena and Damon look into how well you can track that back to its source?
Well, we would, except that we need you to be able to get us to the place that we can actually see the gamers.
That's fine. I can do that. On an OOC level, I'm sure that if I tell Carl that I'll do it for you, and I just don't need to be in the scene because of practicalities of having to do everything with everyone is a pain. Like, if we can track that back to its source, great, fantastic. I'm just not sure how possible it'll be, and what's actually controlling it at the other end.
And we won't know until we can look into that, because that kind of needs to stop anyway.
It does. It does. So, anyone have any issue with striking those three things then?
Eamon shakes his head. And I would have invited my family, but
Yeah, that's its own issue.
it's trying to unfuck itself at the moment. So
I can ask some of the other Benedetti if we just need more people.
can't imagine this attack will be necessarily very easy.
Right. I'm thinking maybe only the ones that have awakened.
Yeah. And I'd rather, but saying that, I'd definitely rather be vastly overprepared and be apologizing for calling people out or calling out allies for help that something that was fairly routine than be devoured by thousands of squirrels.
I'm thinking being devoured by anything would be just kind of unpleasant.
Yeah, this is true. Lena, Ken, you in agreement with the plan?
Linus frogs. Yeah, I guess.
Is there any other business that needs to be brought up? And she is going to glance at Jack on that one because, yeah.
Scene order is like a thing. That's why I hadn't done that just on an OOC level.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. But she does kind of glance at him, but you don't have to say anything. It's fine. I'm not mad either way.
Raymond looks at Ken. You were saying that you're having a hard time. Anything else you want to share? By the way, Daryl, we can't hear you if you're talking.
That is a thing. He's not talking.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted.
Yeah, like have you ever talked in this last 30 minutes? Because I didn't hear anything.
He just said that the plan is good. Divide and conquer is what we have to do.
Is there anything else that you want to share? You were sharing some stuff before.
Not really. It's just still trying to figure out how this stuff works.
It's not an easy thing, but it's also it's just a long-term thing.
You seem to do things close to Claudia. I would suggest a talk with her. She's quite good at alchemy.
It's
Even in his mind, he said, "This is not gutter magic."
Why so snobby about gutter magic? It's purity to
It's
it.
the shit magic. It's the downtrodden magic. But he then looks at Lena. Anything else you want to share?
Nope.
You seem like you want to say stuff.
Trying to keep the good mood here.
Do you mind if I find you later?
In all honesty, I hope to be asleep later.
I don't mean today. I mean sometime in the near future.
I mean, we have all plans together, so
And I'm guessing you know that that's not what I meant.
Out of curiosity, Lena, is there any way that you can put nicely those things that you have in your mind that you wish you want to say?
she sighs and things. Ken, are you aware that your action puts someone's son in the hospital and that someone now has to pay $1,000 each month?
I am now.
Well, I'm glad it comes so easy to you.
Well, it's not like you always want to give up information now, do you? You could be mad at me for doing it, but unless you tell me that something went wrong, how the hell would I know? I can't read your mind.
I'm trying to tell it to you now.
So, what do you want me to do
And
about
I'm
it?
trying to tell this nothing, but apparently
Sorry.
people thought that you
No.
needed to know.
I think it's fair that
Lena.
you should know.
Can you? Because Jack only knows like half of the story. Can you just clarify? Sorry, Lena. What exactly? How? What exactly has Ken done that's put someone in the hospital?
So we were in this restaurant, you know, the one that I take the trash from.
Yeah.
And some associates of mine come in. And sure, they're not the nicest folk, and I was a little behind on my payments. So they naturally called me out on shit. And then after everything's over, Ken comes up and out of the blue hands me $400. Well, that's cool. So they take that and they go away. Now, later on, they find out that that is like toilet paper. Which I can understand is like terribly funny. And I know you weren't trying to be terribly funny, Ken, before, you know. But they weren't amused. So Mrs. Noy, who owns the restaurant, her son got kicked into the hospital. And they're forcing
Yeah.
her to pay $1,000 each month.
It's your
I got that
associates who you
covered.
should blame, not Ken.
Eamon, she, as she points at Sylph, wanted me to tell Ken. You asked if I could do it in a nice way. Then shut up. He doesn't need to do anything, but people thought he needed to know. That's why I'm telling this.
You
You're
also
right.
blamed him to me when we talked and said that keep him away from me. He just does
Yeah, I
things that he
wasn't
shouldn't
happy
do.
about it.
But it's your associates who done this.
And nothing would have happened to her.
You guys,
Like,
why don't we, no offense, Eamon, can we keep this between Lena and Ken for now? Because this is actually something that they're
But-
needing to deal with, I think.
Because there is also a broader lesson for Ken here. I don't disagree with where you're coming from, Eamon, if I'm honest. But what Ken did was not a bright move at all. In a high risk situation, and actions have consequences. Even well intentioned ones. Often well intentioned ones.
Yeah, nobody thinks you did it on purpose, but nevertheless, maybe there's something you can do or learn from it.
It will not take any kind of perception empathy whatsoever to say that Jack is trying really hard to not kind of make the same sort of points that Eamon is doing and hold this against Lena for her associates. This is visibly obvious to everyone that
That's fine.
there's almost like a bead of sweat on his forehead.
I don't know how. I didn't know how to make it permanent. I just made it.
Might I suggest next time? Don't.
What I guess maybe not focus on that now and maybe try to see if there's something that, and talk to Lena about it and see if there's something maybe you can do to help the situation.
He
I'd
doesn't
be,
need to do anything. I got it covered.
do you now? More favors. Just the endless cycle of debt.
She just stole some stuff that she gave it to them.
Lena, please let him help
Look,
if
I
he
don't
can.
get you guys. No, seriously. Okay, first. Yeah, I blame Ken. Yeah, I'm mad at him. Yeah, you got that. That doesn't mean I don't deal with this shit. Someone is asking me to explain to him what he did, so I do. Then you guys, as she looks at Eamon and Jack, are all over me saying this is my problem and I need to deal with it, which I was already doing.
With respect, Lena.
I don't get your problem.
Respect, Lena. That is not what I said.
No, but you were thinking it and everyone could see it.
If, may put it bluntly, associations with groups like this are inherently problematic.
And I didn't ask for any of your help or involvement, nor in
agree.
solving this situation.
I know. However, Lena, and yes, you didn't ask for anyone's help, but the money that you owe for whatever reason to this group, yes, Ken exacerbated the situation. I don't disagree. He used magic in a foolish way. I don't disagree. Maybe nothing would have, quite likely, yes, nothing would have happened to the son. The son wouldn't be in hospital if he hadn't have done it. However, if you didn't owe thousands of dollars to this gang or whatever, nothing would have happened.
So basically, you're saying that I should not have said what I just said in the first place, even though Sylph asked me to say this. Cool.
No,
Then
that is not what
I
I'm
guess
saying,
I'll
Lena.
be going now.
Lena,
I will be backing
Lena,
up Lena on this one. I did ask for her to do this.
I
we
also
didn't say she
agree.
shouldn't say it.
I thoroughly agree that she needed to tell Ken about this.
Exactly. What we are saying is her association.
I
with
think she
those
knows
gangs.
that. You guys, she's
No,
not dumb. I
I
think she
get it.
knows that.
So basically, this is me saying something that Sylph asked me to say, and now you guys have the moral high ground to once again bash me in the head. Cool. Go ahead.
Lena,
Bring
listen.
it.
Listen, you're very tired, and I get it. I get that you're upset at me, probably. And I know you're upset at
I'm
Jack.
not upset at you.
You should be.
Not
Okay.
about this.
Not
Good.
about this part, no.
Good meeting, everybody. As Kenji stands. When we're ready to move on the attack, let me know. Everybody have a good day as he leaves.
Dude, where are you going?
I need to practice. You can follow me if you want.
I know I will be here drinking tea. See you later.
Yep. Yeah.
Why can't we all just like get a drink and I don't know, relax and not get tense around each other every 5 seconds?
Oh, I know the answer to that. That's me. So am I excused now?
I did not force you to stay. I asked you to stay. And you chose to stay. So yes, if you want to go, you are free to go.
Cool. Have a lovely afternoon, everyone.
I will find you later.
Yep. Lena will also head out.
When she heads out, Eamon says, I have to admit, I was literally about to say, yes, you're excused.
Well, it's a good thing it's my house, so therefore I should be the one to say these things.
I will keep that in mind when we are in my house.
Fair enough. What? It's my hospitality
a
to give or
house?
take away.
In Boston, I do, but I was joking, basically. That was not supposed to be like, yeah, you're excused. It was a joke. I know that I'm not, I don't have that privilege to do those things.
It's okay. I was just, I don't know.
Trying to put your authority on me, yes.
No, not really. Just trying to release some of the tension in this room because it is thick.
Don't blame me for pointing out things in a nice way and she starts to yell
With
at me.
respect, Eamon,
It was nice. Come on.
it
It
wasn't.
was nice for you. It was nice for you, but not nice.
What do
Sometimes
you guys, what do you guys
biting
expect me
one's
to do?
tongue in favor of diplomacy, which I've been doing for the past hour,
You've
is
been doing
sometimes
really good,
important.
Jack. You've been
Dude, like,
doing amazing. I'm just telling you.
if me starting every word by saying with respect, Lena, is gonna fix everything, I will do that.
No.
No, we both know that this was because of her cartel. Well, her gang connections. Yes, this doesn't stop that being an important lesson to Ken being an idiot.
I understand that the can made a mistake.
Ken is learning. You need to give him a chance to grow, okay?
No, you're right. Sorry, that was unfair. I apologize.
It's also like she told me that like Ken is doing this. Don't make get me that near that guy. She was all being mad about it, and
Well, she was venting. People do that when they're mad.
it's not just about venting. It's like it's because of him. There are people. It's like blaming Ken for doing this. Is just like, yeah, he didn't beat those people to a hospital. It was her
No, he
friend
didn't.
who he still works for, who she still
Yes,
works for.
I know. But it's her
I,
choice, her life, and it's her life to screw up if she wants.
yes, it's her life if she screws up, and it's my right to point out that she works for sneaky people so she can
But she
expect.
knows that. Do you think she doesn't know that?
I don't know.
She's the only one who can get herself out of this. And you're pointing out the same thing over and over. It doesn't help, Eamon.
I just pointed out once.
Yeah, but you just brought it up again. If she was here, she would have heard it the second time.
But she's not here, so
The point is
I
that
think she knows.
we can't control who awakens. She's up to anyone being involved in some kind of gang matters is awful, and it's frustrating that someone awoke who is part of them. We're not mortal law enforcement. We're not human. Not human. Jack won't use that word. We're not normal law enforcement. We can't get involved in conflicts involving criminal gangs. There's an
well,
area where, and this is the important lesson, deep down the important lesson for Ken, just stay out of situations like that. Don't touch them with a barge pole. Because nothing we do will make anything better.
He was trying. He was trying to help, and he didn't think it through. That's it. That's literally it.
Sometimes trying without thinking things through, that's my point. It's a learning experience. You can learn from it and move
I
on.
think calling him idiot or calling him like, oh, you should watch
As I
it.
say,
You
no,
know,
I agree. Calling him an idiot was unfair.
and also at the same time, like, not gonna lie, I like when you said that, like, you should, like, we all have those problems. I think that's the worst way to respond to someone when someone like tries to engage in conversation. Now I understand it may feel moany of him saying that he had a weird life, and we all had better lives before we get awakened. But at the same time, it's like it was, I think, like beginnings of friendships begins with individuals sharing their vulnerabilities. So I think it was one of those moments when he was sharing his vulnerability.
Agreed.
That's fair.
It was not like I kind of know this because that's exactly what happened with me and you guys. So I was kind of like a bit sad, and that's why I asked like if there's anything he wants to share when it's done and over, because maybe he wanted to talk more about like how he wanted to return his normal life.
Sorry, yeah. It's just frustrating when there's another person who's moaning that we're doing everything wrong.
Yes. But
You
like, I
guys,
think his main point wasn't us doing things wrong. It was more of like not gonna lie, I am used to conflict. Like, not everyone is also used to conflict, and we're not gonna choose who we get, like you said.
No.
I know that Lena's kind of a wild card, but she's also more than that, and she's also really new.
She's come into this up to her neck in mess and just getting more. And ultimately, she does herself absolutely no favors with anything.
I think Lena is one of those people who goes for the danger for the sake of danger. It's
Maybe.
quite obvious that we told her that the vampires are a problem, and she just went to date with that guy. And
Well,
the
it may,
vampire is dead, yeah. But she basically told me that the vampire was a friend because he treated her nicely. And we didn't saw the same shit from her when we treat her nicely. Maybe once or twice. I don't know.
actually, I have seen more of her than probably either of you
Okay.
has.
Yeah, because you were and then she was also weird to you time to time.
Yeah, she
Now
was,
I
but she's also apologized for that, Eamon. I'm not sure if you knew that. She
no, I
apologized for that.
didn't. But Jack is right. You may see some good things, but I think if you saw good things in me, you saw probably see good things in everyone.
Well,
Because
seeing
I
as how
know
you're
how.
not an evil bastard, it's not
No,
real. It's.
it's not about me being a evil bastard. This was about me being very moany and bitchy in the past, and the
Well,
thing.
yes, that is very true. You have been those things in the past.
So what I'm saying is that Jack is right. She is deep in shit in her neck.
Yeah, she is. But but her being told that doesn't change the fact that she is, and the fact that she's not going to get out until she's ready to get out.
So, the neck deep in shit is part of the problem. She may have
Well,
apologized to you. That never stopped the treat acting like she did. She never meant an apology.
she meant the apology to me.
Then how
She
did
hasn't.
she change her behavior?
She hasn't done anything to me.
Yeah, still she yells the second she is told something. When
That was
she's not told, it's
everybody. That
not
wasn't
Lena.
like that was a group thing. That was her being frustrated. That wasn't like her yelling at me personally. It's a
Now,
different thing.
she just yelled at us though. Even though Jack said with respect, Lena, all the time.
To be fair, Jack, just saying with respect doesn't necessarily mean it's with respect.
It's as
But
diplomatic as
but
I
you
can
did.
manage.
I know, and you did well.
The point is, if she wants to act like a stroppy teenager, you know what?
Then she can do that. That's fine.
But
You guys don't have to be around her at all unless there's a reason for it, like today.
she's a stroppy teenager with incredible powers who's consorting with corrupt things and criminal gangs.
Now,
Well, I
still,
When
shouldn't.
people try and help her and she's rude, abusive,
She wasn't rude and abusive. All she did was yell because she was upset.
really, she hasn't continually been that the whole time.
She comes in and she's under the impression that
so
she is already being counted against
you
for
can't just
showing up.
whitewash this.
This isn't
I
about
am really
just
sorry.
today.
This isn't about just today. This is about all the actions that she has done. And she may have her reasons of why she is this way, but that she doesn't change and grow. It's been 1.5 month now.
It's
And
1.5 months isn't really very long, is it?
it is a long time to change. like all she had to do is today, like I said, like, can you explain the things you want to say in a nice way? And the second I said something, it just went to AL.
All right, listen. You guys don't have to take care of her or worry about her. Don't worry about it.
No, we
All
actually
I'm
have to
saying,
worry about her because she is posing a threat.
how is she posing a threat? She's not coming against us. She's only wanting to help with the situation.
People can be threats even if they don't mean to be.
You saw
Things like that
happened,
vampire.
She's not a vampire.
She's not, no, but
Not yet.
what other connections does she have?
Well, I did see the gentleman she was speaking to that one time. Look, what exactly is the point of this conversation? Are you just trying to tell me that I need to, like, what, abandon her?
No, you just need to stop whitewashing her actions.
I'm not whitewashing anything. I've seen everything that's happened.
I
It's
think
my choice how I handle things.
it is your choice.
It is your choice.
But I don't want to tell you what to do, but I think you shouldn't apologize for her. If she wants to do that, she can do it herself.
Yes, she can.
The
But I will apologize to her because I definitely did do something and I never wanted to hurt her in the process of what I did.
cry me a river, you killed my vampire friend, who probably wants to eat me in an alleyway.
She had different ideas than you.
I'm with Eamon on this one.
I know you are.
I am really sorry, Saskia, but I know it was stupidly mean to say, like, cry me a river. I apologize.
I'm not asking for any of your help with her.
Mush, this is amazing. I'm enjoying every minute of it. Please continue.
What? As we just continually just shit on your character.
Go on. No, I really love it.
You are like a family to me, Sylv and Jack, which is quite strange. I used to believe I had the best family in the life.
You still do.
Yeah, now I do. For real. The strange thing that I want to say is this is something that I would say as a younger brother, which I am younger than both of you. I think you are you know that meme that you see on internet when, like, Odin tries to make something like a human, and he talks about, like, the historical character Ivar the Boneless, and he had this, like, yeah, some cleverness, some rootless. Oops, all the rootnesses is gone. I think when you were created, there were a lot of mercy that is given to you, and it's quite strange to see someone with huge mercy that I kind of never seen before. I think it is one of your biggest strong suits that you provide a huge different opinion that I have ever seen in my life. But at the same time, I think it can be a problem and it can hurt you. And I hope it won't.
Well, if this is some extension of the conversation from yesterday, so far from those, all I've gotten is the cheapest and best housekeeper that I've ever had.
I hope it just doesn't, do anything crazy.
Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. But you know what? If he does, it's just stuff. I mean, a couch that I get at a thrift store would probably be still a couch, right?
If all else, if your place is taken over by drunken partying dwarves, you do have another place to live. So
To be honest, like maybe we can invite these dwarves to fight for us.
I really think it might not be for the best to deal with that farm Nessa. I mean, he was kind of
I just
brutal.
Tree may need some brutalizing.
He,
Imagine two dwarves, and one of them holds its the other's face and hitting it to a car over and over again, not once.
oh, and by the way, we were the only ones who could see them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're talking about dwarves using each other to hit cars.
I kind of see
No,
him
no,
as
no,
like a
no.
house elf.
Like Aben like holds his own face, as in like imagine dwarf holding another dwarf's face like this and hitting it
Like
to a
smashing his
car.
face against the car.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Those are like brutal.
It was a brutal fight. Man, they're strong too. I tried to
Yeah.
like just pull him off, and that, oh my god. It was as if I hadn't so much as tried.
You know, we can give those guys like some hammers. Just saying.
I mean, you want to go talk to the farm one? Go for it. You know where to find him in that really nasty library that smells like BO.
We can invite the to be our librarian in our chantry.
The farm one?
Yeah, he's brutal.
Why do
I
we
mean,
need him to be our librarian then?
brutal is not a trait that I appreciate in librarians.
Exactly.
It's, like it's not like it's not the best, but we don't have a librarian.
We have Mr. Grumpy.
Mr. Grumpy is getting more Christian and Christian every day.
Yeah, we have 2 librarians.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, they both love the books, that's for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go home, which is
Yeah.
chantry, and try to get rid of this Myron. So see you guys later.
Check in with Kenji, will you? Make sure he's okay.
Yeah, we'll ask him
Yeah.
how he is and make sure he actually fucking talks to Claudia.
If he wants to talk to Claudia, that's his own business. Well, it's a good idea. Make sure he doesn't hurt himself or anyone else.
I hope he wants. So see you guys later as he gets up. And he
I can't imagine
fucks
it'll
off.
be too long. We'll finish the wine there.
What'd you say?
Can't imagine it'll be that long, but be a shame to leave the wine open.
There's still a half a bottle over there.
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys and your drinks. Bye.
Hey, I was nice. It's not my fault you chose not to drink this last bottle of wine from my grandparents' vineyard.
But I think with that we can end the scene. With Eamon
Totally.
being a terrible human being.
Exactly. Judging people while on his way home. It's like, how the fuck you wear that shit? Ew.
Thank you players for playing and any watching, and goodbye, and can the button